Velkommen og god dag alle sammen. Today I'm gonna speak about what color is the best to do your rune magic or magical staves in if you choose to do that. I just released a video about how to draw magical staves. To watch that video, I'll put that link in the description, and in this video I'm going to speak about why I believe that red is the best color to choose if you're going to participate in this at all. So I'm going to read something just from this book here. I know it, I don't need to read it, but it's just because I'm going to butcher these words. But it's Stephen Hassenfat, Barbarian Rights is the book, and I'm going to read a little bit out of his book here and tell you why. So, the modern German word for magic is Zauber. I'll put that up here somewhere. And the old High German, Zubar. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, which is why I'm reading from the book. And so the original meaning of the German word Zauber can still be discerned from its Old English cognate, Tierfor, and I definitely mispronounced that as well, but I'll also write that up here somewhere. So Tierfor, that designated to red coloring, orcher, red chalk, or ointment. And this points to the practice of staining runes that have been carved for magical ends with blood or some red substance in order to properly make the rune magic effective. So we have that word, Tierfor, which is basically the Old English word for magic, or at least a form of magic. And so this was exactly what it meant, and we can assume that maybe the original German meaning meant kind of the same, had the same meaning. Zuba had the same meaning. I'm not sure, but it very well could be. As we know, Old English came from Proto-Germanic, and the language developed that way from the migration period when the Germans migrated into England. So English people around that time were Germans basically, and they would have had Germanic tribes traditions. So their act of magic, at least one style of magic, would be specifically painting things in red. And this could have been runes, this could have been staves, this could have been whatever. And we don't really have an Old Norse cognate for that word, but we do know for sure that red was very often used. That was the most used color probably. Look at any runic inscription, look at any rune stone. If it's not red today, then it was for sure red at a previous time. So red would have been what would be used for any rune magic or any rune inscriptions or anything of importance really. Red was believed to be the color of life. Your spirit and your life force was in the blood. So they used that, and then of course they took the blood and sprinkled that, like you see in the Vikings TV show. And they painted things in blood, or they painted things in other red coloring, chalk or whatever, anything that they could make red coloring out of basically at that time. And yeah, that's why I believe that if you should do any rune magic or do any magical staves, that red would be the color of choice. Some other people say that doesn't really matter about the color, but I like to do red just as a little bonus. And I just like the color red. We can see that red is a strange color, isn't it? It's not really found anywhere in nature besides roses maybe, or some strawberries. Like red pops out wherever you go, wherever you look. The only thing, and there's just a couple little flowers and plants in nature, and then blood. That's the only place we really see red in this world. So red was a very, very important color to our ancestors, and it's what they would have used for runic inscriptions. And I also like red today. I think red is maybe the most. It has the most meaning or spirituality, anything, related to red. As we've seen studies, I'm an athlete, as you know, and we've seen studies that teams that wear the color red have a higher winning percentage on average, and we see that. Color red, if you're around color red a lot of the time, it raises testosterone, and I've experimented with that for sure. Even got tested in anything at I've had red all up over my room. I don't have it so much today. I should get back to it really, but at one point I had all red sheets, all red drapes, all red everything, and yeah, testosterone went up as confirmed in the test. So red, it really is quite a color. I believe it's the most spiritual. I believe it's the most significant. So any time I do write some runes, or anytime I draw some magical staves, I choose the color red. You can too if you want to, but that's just what I do. Just wanted to give you a little historical background, and you can experiment with things yourself. See you later.